Is this the best functional fitness trainer about? Stay tuned. Okay, so here is the R.A.D One in Miami Night. Chose this particular colorway because I tend to prefer the darker tones. I'm an all black kind of guy when it comes to gym gear. Don't get me wrong, there's some splashes of color, but if I could choose my optimal outfit, it would be all black. So I thought these would complement my look. Picked these up the other day. They came pretty quickly despite a Royal Mail strike. There is another drop for some R.A.D Ones on the 14th of October, my birthday. Don't buy me a pair, I've already got one. But if you are in the market for another pair, I would make sure that you are signed up to the email list, and then when they send over the link, just make sure that you are rapid. Onto the shoe itself. Aesthetically, very pleasing. It looks like a bit of like a Prada Americas. So they do look very nice when you are training them. R.A.D state on the website, it's an all-round shoe, good at everything, ready for anything. The shoe itself is cushioned for plyometrics, stabilized for lifting with a swell foam midsole. Now the first thing I noticed when I put these on is compared to the Nike Metcons and the Reebok Nano X1s that I use regularly for my training is the lack of slap effect. Now the heel is very rigid, particularly on the Metcons and also on the Reebok. So if you are using them to run in and you heel strike, I know we shouldn't heel strike when running, but when you do, it creates this really kind of slapping effect. These are the closest thing to an actual trainer that I've used and feel very comfortable. They're slightly less wide compared to the other shoes, so your feet feel a lot more compact, which I tend to prefer. And the actual sole inside almost feels like the sole of like a Nike Zoom X that I'm currently running with. Anything longer distance, anything that Jade programs for this Hyrox event that's in like the 3Ks or the 5Ks, I'm using my Nike shoes, my Nike running trainers. But for the 1K work that I'm doing, today you'll see that we've got a 1K run, row, 1K run twice. Be a good chance for me to test out the shoe. Like I said, aesthetically, very, very pleasing. Comfortability wise, putting it on straight away, very, very comfortable. Let's go into the gym now and see how we get on. Okay, so aerobic capacity day today is a really nice chance to test out the R.A.Ds. Opened up with a warm up of 5-minute jog, 5 burpees and 5 squats. Complete that 5 times with 30 seconds rest in between. So a good 25 to 30 minutes for the warm up. These movements, again, they feel, these are the closest thing to an actual trainer. These feel like I'm wearing my Asics. You still got a nice enough heel in them to benefit from a squat pattern, but far less rigid than the Metcon and the Reebok that I'm used to. Today's work was somewhat mirroring a Hyrox. So we had a 1K run, 1,000-meter row, 1K run, rested for 3 minutes, and we completed that twice. So the ability to keep a consistent pace and split on the runs is slightly more doable on a treadmill as opposed to doing them outside. So I think I just set the treadmill at about 9.5, I think it was, maybe a little bit more than that. But again, with these movements and this particular work, keeping heart rate pretty consistent is what we want here. We don't want to deviate too much from the splits and pace, both on the rower and the treadmill. Finisher, 10 barbell thrusters and then 1 minute of wall balls at the Hyrox weight of 6 kilos. So we have, I think it's towards the end of the Hyrox in January, 100 wall balls to complete. But this was the first time kind of doing these for a sustained amount of time. Felt good, you know, it's still very early days, so technique can probably be improved, but all in all, very comfortable trainer. Is it bad luck to have trainers on the table? Oh well, what else can go wrong? Got Liz Truss in charge. My final thoughts on the R.A.D One. By far the most comfortable functional shoe that I have tried. Is it the best? It's hard for me to say. I haven't tried all the functional shoes out there, and I don't think I ever will. But out of all the shoes that I've tried, the ability for me to transition from a 1K run into some rowing or some skiing back into a run, they're fantastic and very comfortable for lifting in as well. There's still a slight elevation and somewhat stability in the heel, maybe less of compared to the Metcons or the Reeboks. But all in all, in terms of an all-round shoe that is required for this particular style of training, these are by far the most comfortable. The cushion inside is superb. Like I said, I can easily do a 1K run in them, jump off and do some more work. No issues with my shins, no issues with my joints. Very, very comfortable indeed. They also happen to look really nice as well. Like I said, the next drop is on Friday if you want to grab yourself a pair. This is not like a sponsored video, by the way. I'm not getting paid and I don't have a discount link. I just thought I'd give you guys and girls a review for anyone that is transitioning into this style of training and wants a shoe. It doesn't have to go through trial and error. Although the Metcons are still very good. I use them for my testing, for squatting in if I were to choose a shoe that would kind of bias that particular movement, then I would probably bring my Metcons with me to a session. But all round, as they state on the website, this is probably one of the best that I've used. Okay, that concludes today's review of the R.A.D One in Miami Night. Any further questions, drop them below. I'll see you very soon. Thank you again, much love.